Today is the 17th of Tammuz, by the way. And Tammuz being the fourth month of the Jewish month. The Jewish month, the fourth month, is called Tammuz. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, the sovereign of Babylon, and all his army came against Jerusalem and camped against it, and they built a siege wall against it all around. That is the 10th of Tevet, is what that is right there. And the 10th of Tevet was the day that the Jerusalem was besieged by Nebuchadnezzar. That is also known as a minor fast day. They mourned the day that Jerusalem was besieged. And the city was under siege until the 11th year of the sovereign of Hezekiah.
Say it right.
What's that say? Look here. And on the 9th of the 4th month, the sanctuary, the sanctity of food was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people in the land. Then the city wall was breached, and all the men of the battle fled and went out of the city by night by the way of the gate between the two walls, which is by the sovereign's garden. They stopped it. The 9th of the 4th month is today. That's the day the wall of Jerusalem was breached. That's known as the 17th of Tammuz. That is what is known. That's when the wall was breached. They barricaded himself in the temple. If we're going to read through this, they barricaded himself in the temple, and they held out for 3 more weeks to Tisha B'Av, the day the temple. Those 3 weeks are known as the 3 weeks of mourning, and that's not being sad. My text is like mourning. So anyway, that's what it is, and this is today. Let's go to Zechariah 8:19. Quick. Zechariah 8:19. Oh. 19. Thus saith the sovereign Yahweh, the fast of the 4th month. That is today. That was commemorated right there. The fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 5th month, that's Tisha B'Av, the fast of the 7th month, and the fast of the 10th month, the 10th month being when Jerusalem was besieged. These fasts are actually here, and they're put in place as a memorial to why Jerusalem was besieged, why Jerusalem fell, and why the temple was destroyed. Because of transgression and because of the sinful nation. You ever seen them stop the glass at a Jewish wedding?
Yes.
You know why they do that? That commemorates the destruction of the temple. Because it shows how fragile your house is and how easily you can destroy it. That if Yahweh would let his own house be destroyed, you need to be aware that your own house can be destroyed also. So they break a glass to show how fragile that is. They were divorced, and that house was destroyed. Hallelujah. Amen. Today's Torah portion is Balaam, Balak, the son of Beor. He was a real winner, wasn't he? Balaam. He's actually written about quite a little bit. The portion starts in number 22, where it talks about Balaam. Let's read 22, 1 through 6 here. And the children of Israel set out and camped in the desert plains of Moab beyond the Jordan in Jericho. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw that all Israel had done to the Amorites. They had just wiped out the Amorites here. The Amorites didn't want to allow them to come to their land. They wanted to let them come out and fight. And so they destroyed the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people because they were Midian. And Moab was in dread because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, now this company is licking up all that is around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field. Now Balak, the son of Zippor, was the sovereign over the Moabites at that time. And he sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, at Bethor, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call them, saying, see, a people has come from Mizraim. See, they have covered the surface of the land and are sitting next to me. Now, please come at once and curse this people for me, for they are too strong for me. It might be that I smite them and drive them out of the land, for I know that whom you bless is blessed, and him that you curse is cursed. The Midianites thought that it was good insurance to see if they could get a false prophet to come and curse the people that they wanted to destroy. They superstitiously believed that they could actually curse Israel. That they had seen that Israelite had slain all the Amorites, and they were, if you will, a little distressed about them, and you would think that that's why they were actually in big distress, but it says these people lick up everything around them as an ox licks up the grass. Were they more fearful commercially than they were physically? I mean, were they worried about them taking all their goods and possessions and those things because there were so many of them? Realize that these are two descendants of two people that are kin. We have Abraham's descendants here before them, and we have Lot's descendants who are the Amorites, or the Moabites. And Lot and Abraham had a problem back in the day over pasture land, didn't they? Genesis 13:5. Let's go. Genesis 13:5. Now Lot with Abraham had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And at that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelled with Abraham in the land. And Abraham said to Lot, please, let there be no strife between me and you, between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Is not the land before you? Please separate from me. And the nation to the left, I will go to the right. To the right, I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the plains of the Jordan, and it was well watered everywhere before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the Garden of Eden in the land of Israel, as you go toward. So it was a commercial thing. And Lot's descendants, still being commercial, weren't really worried about it battle-wise. What they were worried about was them being so many and licking up the good of the land. So they wanted Balak to come and curse them. And then back to Numbers 22:7.
2:7.
And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian left with the fees of divination in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke the words to Balak to him. They're coming with the fees of divination. Now, I don't know how we look at hirelings in this movement, or hirelings, those, the New Testament doesn't speak well of hirelings, does it? Those in false churches that woo the people for money. Would that maybe be fees of divination? What do y'all think? Huh?
Judges, the higher priest.
The higher priest. Yeah. That are tickling the ears of the people for money.
Then the tribe of Dan comes along, offers you more money. Is it okay?
It'd definitely be the wages of unrighteousness, I would think. If you wanted to go be a hireling. Maybe so, maybe so. Was Balaam a bona fide prophet?
Well, he seemed to have some way with people. They said, it said that if you bless them, they're blessed, they're cursed. He must have some kind of something going on.
He had some power, didn't he?
He had something going on.
Do y'all believe that shamans in this life, if there are shamans on planet Earth that can call down demons to do their bidding? I mean, those are pretty powerful people. The only thing that protects you from that is Yahweh's Spirit. Basically, later on in this portion, we probably won't get there, but later on in this portion, it quotes in one of Balaam's discourses when he's actually praising Israel that there is no divination against Israel. So if you are part of Israel, nobody with a voodoo dial is going to hurt you. If you're truly Israel. Nobody's going to put incantations over you and stick demons over you. That's if you're true Israel. If you're not true Israel, they can mess your life up. That's another reason to stay close to God. Because there's no divination. I find comfort in that. I find a lot of comfort in that. That nobody out there that's messing with those kind of powers can hurt you. But it was Balaam's willful self-interest in this money that got him into trouble. And he said to them, "Spend the night here, and I shall bring back word to you as Yahweh speaks to me." So the heads of Moab stayed with Balaam. In other words, hey, he didn't just tell them go and come back. He said he kept them there and entertained them. These guys are offering me money. Don't go camp over there. Don't just come here and let's see what's going on. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" Y'all didn't know? Yahweh also asked Cain, "Who's your brother?" He asked Adam and Eve, he asked Adam, "Did you eat the fruit?" He asked real pointed questions to them to bring them up short, like,
Explain yourself.
yeah, kind of like being the attorney that asked you the question, "Did you or did you not?" I don't know. Anyway. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" And Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak, the son of Zippor, sovereign of Moab, has sent to me, saying, see a people come out of Mizraim to cover the surface of the land. Now come curse them for me, it might be, that I am able to fight against them and drive them out." Again, they wanted that curse. And Elohim said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. Do not curse the people, for they are blessed." You'd think that would end the whole deal with it. I mean, Yahweh did pretty much say that Israel was blessed, and don't go with them. They're blessed. Let's look at Deuteronomy 7:9. Deuteronomy 7:9. And you shall know that Yahweh your Elohim, He is Elohim, the trustworthy El, guarding covenants and kindness for thousands of generations, those who love Him and those who guard His covenant, guard His commandments. Yahweh it blesses those. In the King James it says He blesses those that keeps and repaying those in intent. But He repaying those who hate Him to their face to destroy them. He does not relate to do so with him who hates Him. He repays him to his face. Blessings and cursings. In other words, those that's not going to do the will of Elohim, Elohim is going to come back and personally take care of it. Is what He's saying. And a lot of times we have a hard time. I have people come to me sometimes and want to bring an accusation against somebody and there's no witness. And they just have to trust this scripture right here that if you don't have two witnesses, just go and realize that Yahweh's going to take care of it. That's all you can do. And He promises you here that He's going to take care of these situations. So Yah is faithful to do that. I want to go to Exodus 20, verse 5, and look at the commandment there. In Exodus 20, verse 5. And this is talking about the idols. Do not bow down or serve them, for I am Yahweh your Elohim, a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and the fourth generation of those that hate me, showing kindness to the thousands of those who love me and guard my commandments. Again, blessings and cursings. Only Yah has the power to bless and curse in that capacity. So we can look at Exodus 34:7, quotes the same thing again. Blessings and cursings. He's going to bless those and curse those in the fourth generation. Did you go there? Exodus 34:7. Watching over the kindness for thousands, forgiving the crookedness and transgressions and sins, by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers or the sins of the fathers upon the children to the children's children to the third and fourth generation. And it gives places where this is confirmed, where they bring that in. Now, Yahweh, if He curses you or curses your lineage, and here's the point I like about this right here, is that Yahweh says that if you're a sinner and you're not doing what's right, and He brings things on you, and we just read about the 17th of Tammuz and Nebuchadnezzar besieging Jerusalem, and those people being taken to Babylon for 40 years, 70 years. If I was born the first day of that captivity, there is absolutely nothing that I would have done that would have caused me to have to grow up enslaved in Babylon. Nothing. It would have been the sins of my fathers that put me in that position. If I was born the first day of King Solomon's reign, and Israel was at probably its highest point ever, in wealth, prosperity, no enemies, and all of those things going on, I would have done nothing to put myself there. It would have been the righteousness of my predecessors that put me in that position. So we can actually leverage. Now, the people growing up in that, those that went to Babylon, are going to live and die in Babylon. And the way they live their life, the way they serve Yahweh, are going to suffer for their own sins, their own actions, but you're going to put them in a position that is not pleasant. They're going to suffer the sins of their fathers. Just as the blessings of their fathers, if you grew up in Solomon's reign. We actually can place our children in better positions and worse positions by living a righteous life. Believe it or not. That one of the reasons Yahweh hated Jacob's brother, Esau, because he did not care about his prosperity. He didn't care about the blessings that he had from the family to bring forward. What good is it to me if I'm dead? What a self-righteous, selfish person he was. He really didn't care. He didn't care what he subjected his children to. I'm going to live my life any way I want. On the other hand, those that wanted the blessings never received it. They wanted it knowing somewhere in the future, even though it didn't pertain to them, that their children would receive it. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of them desired to see that promise, knowing they'd never see it. Because they wanted to bless their children. I hope we have that one. Let's go back to number 22. And 13. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said to the heads of Balak, "Go back to your land, for Yahweh has refused to allow me to go with me." And the heads of Moab arose and went to Balak and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." He didn't say Yahweh refused to let him go. And Balak again sent heads more numerous and more esteemed than they. You know, when we send heads of state to another country and it's like only Hillary gets to go over there instead of the president, they feel shafted. So because the dignitary wasn't aligned of stature or whatever. I mean, this really happens. And sometimes the dignitaries that sent, the Secretary of State or something, goes instead of the president. Sometimes they feel a little put out. Balak, that's what he thought. He thought, well, if I send some more esteemed people, then he'll come. And then they come to Balaam and said to him, this is what Balak the son of Zippor said, "Do not withhold coming to me, please, for I esteem you very great. And whatever you say to me, I will do. Therefore, please come, curse these people for me." And Balaam answered and said, "The servants of Balak, though Balak were to give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am not able to go beyond the word of Yahweh, my Elohim, to do less or more." Look at that money. Mention that. It's funny how he mentioned silver and gold. 2 Peter 2:15 speaks of Balaam. And we can go there right quick. Having left the right way, they went astray, having followed the ways of Balaam the son of Beor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. But he was rebuked for his transgression. A dumb donkey speaking with the voice of a man refrained the madness of the prophet. Balak actually did get to utter the utterances that Yahweh put in his mouth. That's what he did, didn't he? That makes him equal with his donkey. Did Yahweh put there, whatever. We're warned over and over in Scripture. Let's go to Matthew 7:5. We're warned over and over about those that come to us in sheep's clothing that are wanting to take advantage of us and everything. And that's Matthew 7:15. But Balaam pretended to be a true prophet, one that serves Yahweh, and he's making all these pretenses here that he is actually able to do these things and he serves Yahweh. Is the pretense is put forward. But beware false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're savage wolves. By their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So that's basically where all this happens. They're not what they appear to be. 2 Peter 2:1 is basically a good one that 2 Peter 2:1. But there also came to be false prophets among the people, as also among you there shall be false teachers, who shall secretly bring in destructive heresies, denying the master who brought them, bringing swift destruction on themselves. And many who follow their destructive ways, because of whom the way of truth shall be equally spoken of. And in greed, with fabricated words, they shall use you for gain, and from old their judgment does not linger, their destruction does not smile. For gain. They turn you into merchandise. They merchandise you. Their whole motivation is simply to gain money. And that was Balaam's whole thing. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 2:5. For we never came with words of flattery, as you know, nor with a cloak for greed. Elohim is witness. In other words, a lot of people come and want to flatter people. You know how to win friends and influence people is if you can. They teach you if you flatter a person and you make them feel good. If I make that person feel good, I've got them. That's salesmanship, right? Sell myself to the people and flatter them, and you've got them. Damn. Is that what Paul said earlier? The blood of all men are on me because I flattered everybody? Yeah. Let's go to 1 Peter 5:2. And this is another one we look at for shepherd the flock of Elohim, which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but voluntarily, not out of greed for filthy gain, but eagerly. Obviously, that is a big problem. Or it wouldn't have been spoken of so many times in the Scripture. Jude 11, actually, Jude 1:11, I guess would be. There's only one going on Jude. Woe to them, because they have gone in the way of Cain, and have given themselves to the delusion of Balaam for a reward, and perished in the rebellion of war. And those three individuals there are the three main categories of problems in this movement, or in all movements, in all religion, I think. I think you have three categories of sin: lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and pride of life. And of those three, Cain, Korah, and Balaam fit that like a thief. Cain just wanted to be a leader. He didn't really care about the money. Korah just wanted the position. Korah wanted to take over the priesthood. It wasn't about the money. It was just about, I want to be the leader. That's me. I want to be the leader. If I can't be the leader, I'm going to be unhappy and try to do everything I can to undermine the leadership, destroy it, push it aside, so I can get there to be the leader. You have Balaam, which obviously was there for the money. He found his way in because he seeks a way to make money. But Cain's not going to raise himself up to the level he needs to be. Cain's going to continue to be less than where he needs to be, but anybody that does rise herself up, he's going to try to destroy it. He's going to talk about them, undermine them, try to make them look bad, because he wants to bring them down because of envy. He envies them. He wants to kill them. He wants to destroy them. But he doesn't want to raise himself up. That's where he's at. And there's a lot of people there that are in that position. They're not about to better themselves, but they're going to try to defame anybody that they do. And that's just kind of the way it goes. Let's go back to 22:13 or 14. Where did we stop? See, we're down 14. We're right there.
Yeah, it's 16 to 18, I believe.
16, 18.
So we're on 16.
Yeah, you read 18.
Read 18?
Silver and gold.
Okay. Now, please, you also stay here tonight. Again, he wishes to entertain them. He doesn't send them away. Yahweh told him not to go with them, doesn't want him to bless them, doesn't want to do anything, but he says, have nothing to do with these people, and again, he puts them up. Y'all stay here. I don't know what kind of banquet he throws for them, it doesn't say. But now please, you stay here tonight, let me find out more. Find out what more Yahweh says to me. In other words, let me go beg Yahweh because I really want a piece of that money. I really want to go pester Yahweh to go. Here's the thing. Yahweh's already told me, point blank, don't go with them, don't curse them. These people are blessed, but don't even entertain them. And I want to go to 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Because Yahweh does things when our heart really isn't in serving Yahweh. Bad things happen when we move away. 2 Thessalonians 2:9. The coming of the lawless one is according to the works of Satan with all power, signs, and wonders of falsehood, and with deceit of unrighteousness in those perishing, because they did not receive the love of the truth, in order for them to be saved. And for this reason, Elohim sends them a work of delusion, for them to believe the falsehood. You know, does Balaam fall into this category? He deluded himself to the point to think that he could nag Yahweh into letting him go, just like a kid nags their parents. Oh, my friends are getting to go. Why can't I go? Everybody gets to go. Why do I have to stay here? I know you said no, and Dad said no, and Mama said no, but I need to go. And, yeah, do we play those games with Yahweh? Oh, no. I really hope not. Where is, what was reading on here? In order that they should be judged who did not believe the truth, but have delight in unrighteousness. Now that's going against what Yahweh says. I mean, point blank, he says, don't go with these people, don't entertain these people, don't curse Israel. And we have Balaam deceiving himself, and Yahweh sending him delusion here where that he believes that he can do it. Let's go back to 22. And this time we'll go to 19. All right. I'm not able to, Balaam answered and said to the servants, though Balak were to give his house filled with silver and gold, I am nothing to go beyond the word of Yahweh, my Elohim, to do more or less. Please also stay here tonight and find out what more Yahweh says to me. At least Balaam is what Deuteronomy 4:2, that You cannot add to the word or take away from the word, not more or less to the word. And Elohim came to Balaam that night and said to him, if these men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the words that I speak to you, that you do. Okay. He says, if these men come to call you. But then 21 says, Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the heads of Moab. It doesn't say they come and call. It says he got up, got on his donkey and said, let's go.
They were there.
He didn't do what y'all said there either, did he? Oh boy, yippee. There's gold in them hills. Yeah. Yeah, bless his heart. There's no fear of Yahweh before his eyes here. This guy does not fear Yah. He has no regard for what Yahweh said or what Yahweh's saying. He's quick to go against the words of Yah. Anyway, I think we'll just kind of can it there. Y'all know the story of Balaam and what's going on with that. Anyway, 94 o'clock.
We got to the donkey.
We got the donkey talk. My favorite part. That's what I really know. Oh, the donkey saw the messenger. There you go. Sherry went right to it. The donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. The donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam beat the donkey to turn her back into the way. And that just jumped. I don't know where we're going.
It jumped a long way.
Turn her back into the way. Then the messenger of Yahweh stood in a narrow passage between the vineyards within the wall and the side of the wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh, pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he beat her again. You know, the proverb says that a righteous man cares about the lives of his animals, or cares about his animals. Doesn't look like Balaam really cared much about his animals here. I mean, you know people by their actions and what they do. He was a real winner beating his donkey. And the messenger of Yahweh went farther and stood in a narrow place, and when there was no turn to the side, right or left, and when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh, she laid down under Balaam. So Balaam's displeasure burned, and he beat the donkey with his staff. And when Yahweh opened the mouth of the donkey, he said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have beaten me with 3 times? Yahweh have a sense of humor.
There's an olive top in the middle of that.
Well, he figured he wasn't going to listen to everything he told him to do. He might listen to the donkey.
I was the donkey. There you go. Did it work? Oh. And Balaam said to the donkey, would you talk back to your donkey?
He asked a good question like this.
God, you have mocked me. I wish there was a sword in my hand. I would have killed you by now. The donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? And was I ever known to do so to you? And he said, no. And Yahweh opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way with his long sword in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell on his face. You know, most people, when they see an angel or something, that's generally their position, nose to the ground. I think that's going to be us too. You know, little like undone. You know, I mean, even the righteous people said, I severely quake and tremble. You know, when we come across those. I don't know. It seems like Balaam was just a little half-hearted there too. You know, even though he bowed. It seems like it's not really, you know, I'm just kind of going to do what I need to do. Just as little as possible. Okay? And the master Yahweh said to him, why have you beaten the donkey these 3 times? See, I have come out to stand against you because your way is restless before me. And the donkey if you saw me and turned aside from me at least these 3 times, if you had not turned aside from me, I certainly would have killed you by now and let her live. And Balaam said to the messenger of Yahweh, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. And now if evil is in your eye, let me turn back. He didn't say he repented or he was sorry or whatever, just, okay, I'll stop. It didn't seem half-hearted, doesn't it? I mean, it reads half-hearted. It reads flat, like Balaam's not really enthused about anything. I don't need to go. Everything gets him going.
Like most preachers.
Whatever.
He's implying that the angel has evil in his eyes. A messenger has evil in his eyes. I don't think I would do that.
The word Malach, angel or messenger, either way you go there, who is the messenger of Yahweh?
Sure.
Yeshua himself.
There's an olive top in there.
And this one here didn't say, get up, I'm your fellow servant. He told him he was going to kill him if he didn't straighten up, you know? Again, the whole narrative shows the half-heartedness of Balaam. The whole thing is this guy was a real winner from start to finish. Wasn't good.
Just had one thing on his mind.
That thing on the mind.
He had Doctor talking to you, talking back to him, just go through. He's already made the deal on the revenue card. Yeah.
Contrary to what Paul said, doing the hard things to try to draw people out of sin, not trying to flatter them. Balaam did everything he could to draw them into sin. And got up to eating things sacrificed to idols. And messed with the sin of Peor, which later on they say is still with them to that day. 24,000 people perished because of his sin. And basically he got his later on, and the nation was destroyed. And later on in Deuteronomy, he was put to death when they went and captured that nation and killed him. Because again, Yahweh said that he's going to enact judgment upon you, and he will reap what you sow. Yahweh will not be harmed. That's a promise from him. What you do, you're going to get. It's going to come back. Hallelujah. Let's say it well. You have a record to Yahweh by each Shabbat. Yahweh, Yahweh, Panavalek, Avipanek. Messiah, Yahweh, Panavalek. Shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahweh lift his countenance upon you